Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 26 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to the series, definitely consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on this content as well as others. Leave a like and a comment, and let me know how I'm doing. We'll go through a quick recap, and then we'll get into the video. Alright, so we are just starting out on our passenger rail line running from Skelton up to Ferryhill via Tenterden. And interestingly enough, you can actually see the problem that we are dealing with. Check out the speed. Now this is a locomotive that can go 90 miles an hour with passenger cars that can go 75. So for all intents and purposes, this train should be able to go 75 miles an hour the entire way. Virtually. However, it keeps slowing down, so right now it's going 44 because it keeps catching up with the freight. Now, this is not a horrible thing. 75, the freight will eventually be able to go 75. You know, it's doable. The big problem though is that as these passenger trains just get faster and faster, and just checking that we have the date going. As these passenger trains get faster and faster, it's just going to become more and more of a problem, and we're not going to get the most out of these trains. So what I propose doing today is beginning to give ourselves some dedicated high-speed rail. So if we go into our cities tab and we sort by size, you'll see that Skelton, Ferryhill, and Tenterden are our top three in terms of size. They're actually very close to one another, just about 30 between these, and then about 30 between these. So to that end, they have earned the right to get our first dedicated high-speed rail. So we're going to start with Skelton to Tenterden. And we're going to do a lot of future-proofing here. Another problem that we have, let's just go ahead and speed this up so that this train can get into this station, and I will show you. And look at this, it's just there's so much congestion in here. And we actually have the other one coming in now. So we'll use that one as an example. Loading speed 0.99. That is because our passenger train is actually longer than the platform. So I would like to kind of future-proof what we've got going on here and plan for some faster trains. So to that end, the first thing we're going to do is replace this station, and then we're going to work our way down to Skelton. So let's just wait for this guy to get out of the way. He should move here in a minute. There we go. All right, so let's work on replacing this station to start. So we're going to break a lot of lines here, and that is completely understood that is what's going to happen. So let's bring this rail line back quite a ways. And then we will go ahead and probably back that out to there. And then I'm going to pull just some tracks forward with no catenary, because we do not need it for now. All right, and it doesn't like that, so let's fix that here. I'm just going to back that out entirely, and we'll just rebuild it once we get this in. So we got some nice straight tracks here. Now let's go into passenger station, and we are going to go big. So let's get a 300-meter station in here, and let's get that built. So it's still very central to our bus stop. But this will allow us to essentially future-proof for the rest of the game. I don't think we're going to need to replace this station anytime soon. And then let's come in here. We're going to edit this. So let's get rid of this whole platform, as well as the buildings. And we deleted a little bit of track inadvertently, which is okay. And we're just deleting track left and right, which is okay. All right, so let's get in here. We will put that track back, and now we're going to need to add on some additional track. Okay. Perfect. Now we will come in here and add on our platforms. Just like that. And now let's add on our passenger buildings. I think I will center it on the bus stop here. A couple smaller ones, and then let's add on some stairs. We'll have a crossover here, and then a crossover at the end of the platform. Yeah, something like that. And then we will just add on our coverings. Perfect. Okay, so that is in catchment of the bus stop, which is good. Let's come in here and just add in this side so that we don't forget about it. We'll go 30 miles an hour. $30 again. Perfect. And we have signals here. That's what we want to see. Okay. So now let's get this connected up. And we are going to have to do a lot of work here. So let's rip this out. And something tells me that I'm going to end up moving this eventually or anyway. So that's okay. We can leave that for now, and then we'll edit it down the line. We'll back out this main line. And now we can start working. So let's pull this out to about there. And then we'll curve it in, maintaining 75 miles an hour on the main freight line. Okay. So now, there are a couple ways that we could do this. So if I just make a little example here. Let's imagine that this is our existing mainline track. There are two strategies. We could have the outbound high-speed rail and then the inbound high-speed rail, something like that. So essentially these two right tracks will be going outbound away from us. The inside being the slow and the outside being the fast. And then these two tracks on the left would be our inbound coming towards us, slow on the inside, fast on the outside. You could also flip it, so you had the fast on the inside and the slow on the outside. Totally viable. Or we could, after this autosave, we could have both of our high speed together, so outbound, inbound, and then both of our slow together, outbound, inbound. This is the method that I'm going to go with between Tenterden and Skelton. And I will explain to you my reasoning as to why. So first, let's get rid of this example. So the high-speed rail is generally going to follow this existing line. However, when it gets to this oil well, I imagine we're going to have to branch off and come through this mountain, mainly because I'm trying to maintain 186 miles an hour. And you will see that if I bring this down here and I keep it joined, we're going to drop to 106, which I just find too slow. I think anything over like 150, 160, I'll probably be okay with, terrain dependent. But I think that these two cities are large enough that the money would be found to make a high-speed tunnel right through this mountainside and then join back in with the main line. So essentially we will bypass from this split off here all the way up to this oil well here. We will bypass. Okay, so with that in mind, we need to get our high-speed rail both onto this side of the track. All right. So with that in mind, let's begin with our merge over here. So let's go 40 miles an hour. I think that's pretty safe to get into here. We will then jump over again at 40 miles an hour. I'll then grab this track, pull it out to here, and then let's grab this, jump to the outside at 40, and then we'll bounce this one to the outside, right? So now they can get over. And now we will start our high-speed track right here. And it's going to start to slow down as it comes into here. That is totally fine. It's going to have to slow down to go into the platform anyway. And the reason that I'm not using high-speed track all the way through here is I just think it looks terrible when you mix it with regular track. Like, I hate the way that that looks. I think it looks awful. So yeah, that is my reasoning. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to need to find a way to hook up either this train depot or another train depot that we build. And I'm just trying to look at our tracks. So let's see, if I put another merge there, just kind of like a service merge. I don't know if that's a thing. So let's see, if I put I don't know, like, I'm literally calling it like a service track. If I just put that in there, and then I grab maybe here, branch that off, and we need to just move it down just a little bit so that it looks good, so that it plays well. Something like that. That will work. And then we can go ahead and put a non-one-way signal right here. Grab this, drag this over. And then we can go ahead and put this on here, like that. So now that is connected. Get rid of this one. And then we'll go ahead and reroute a road back over here, if for no other reason than, you know, someone probably works here. Right? I mean, somebody's gotta work over here. So we'll get a road over there. Just for, you know, for realism. Let's call it realism. And then I'm going to go ahead and just smooth out around here. Just because this is a station, so I imagine there would be a lot of grading that would go on in building a station like this. Okay, so that is hooked up. Now let's get our signals in here. We will get one-way signals. Let's see, we're going to have one here. We're going to have one here. Let's put one there. I'm also going to put one here so that the train can kind of creep to the end of the line and get ready to make that cross. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I'm actually not going to signal this little area right here. They'll wait here if there's a train coming through. And then let's see, our industrial trains are going to go all the way down there. I think we could get these a little bit closer. Something like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So now we have the beginning of our high-speed line. So let's come down here. I'm going to grab this station. And let's get some non-catenary high-speed tracks in there. And let's grab our high-speed track, and then I just want to see if I take this all the way back here and join that up. Yeah, that's 186 all the way through. That is a nice curve. So let's get that connected up. Okay, perfect. And now, let's see, if I grab a one-way signal and I do like a 250 meter auto sig, and I start it there. Yeah, so it's going to go all the way there. All right, let's not auto signal that. I just kind of wanted to get our spacing, so it looks like maybe I could probably get away with 2 signals in here for the passenger trains. So let's go maybe here. One there. And then one there. Perfect. And then I'm actually going to get rid of this one because I don't want them to wait there. I want them to clear all the way through this contention area. Okay. So we still have a lot of problems. Actually, only 2 problems. Skelton and Ferryhill. Okay. So now, this track is going to work its way down. However, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come all the way down here to Skelton, and we're going to replace this station. And this is going to take a lot of work. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Actually, I might reconnect that and use that as my anchor point. So let's see. I'm going to reconnect those. And then I'm going to get rid of this station. I'm going to use that as my reference for where to attach our station. And I'm going to back this all the way out to the bridge, because this is, again, going to be a very long platform. Let's spin this around. All right, and that's where that wants to connect, and that's not very straight. It's actually not bad. Yeah, that's actually not terrible. We are going to need to work on this a little bit, though. So let's come in here. Get rid of that. And now start our mass deletion of platforms so that we can redo them. There we go. All right, so now let's get our other track in here. All right, and let's get our platforms. Quick autosave. And then we will continue to build. All right, let's get our passenger building. Oh man, it's just like a little bit too close. I could get the small ones, but I really want a large one. Yeah, we'll go with small. And we'll just make it a little bit longer. I just want to make sure that yeah, so that is in catchment. Yes, okay. And now we can go to stairs. Got a set of stairs in there. Set of stairs in there. And we can get our cover on there. Okay. So that works. Once again, let's come down here. Let's make this connection first. Just so that we don't forget about it. This will come in at 30 miles an hour. And then we can make our cross also at 30 miles an hour. And then I believe we had a one-way signal there. I'm going to add one there as well. Okay, nice. So now let's add our other one-way signals so that they can creep to the end. And then if we come down here... Actually, I just realized this should not be electric. So let's get rid of that. Okay. So now, let's work on this. Now, you will remember, this is triple tracked already, because if we follow it, this right-hand track branches off towards Askern. I want to move this to the outside and keep our high-speed rail adjacent to these two tracks already heading up to Tenterden. So in order to do that, we are going to delete a lot of this. And actually, I don't really need to. Now that I think about it, I could just upgrade it. This is going to be slow through here, and there's really no way to avoid this being slow. It is just a natural... It is just a natural block of slowness, if that makes sense. So we'll pull that up there at 70. Let's get rid of that so that we can get a nice snap to there. So that's going to be our merge. And then we'll connect that up. Let's see if I can get a track through there. I can. However, let's come in here real quick. And let's add on our track for the Askern route. I believe 3 is going to be enough. Let's go to 4. That'll be for our Askern route. And then if we grab this, yeah, it's not going to be able to get through there. So let's get rid of that, back that out a little bit, back that out. Let's grab our standard track, pull it down here, and now we need to reconnect this bridge. And let's get that in there nice and straight. And let's just try and get this bridge to look nice. Yeah, something like that. That looks nice. And then if we back this out just a little bit further, and then curve this, we should get a nice connection through there. Yeah, that looks really good. It's a little, it's a little clippy, but that's okay. I think it still generally looks good. Can I fix it? Oh, we are about to find out if that was a mistake. Does that look better? I actually kind of really like how that looks. It's way too short, though. Let's just pull this back, trying to get it to be nice and flat. All right, how does that look? Okay, so I just created the exact same problem that we had, but on the other side. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is my last attempt. So let's see if we can make it work. If I come through here and I just back up like a lot, and I pull this over, and I get pillars on both sides. Would that look better? My guess is yes. Now how steep is that? Yeah, that's really steep. Okay, okay. What if I back that out? And I back that out? And now let's make that straight so that they can develop on there. And then let's make sure that we lock this so that they don't develop on there. And then if we grab this, connect that up. It's still pretty steep. Let me see if I back that out. How does that look? You know what? That looks better. I like that more. Okay, so much work. Totally not worth it. That's okay, though. I'm going to delete these out because I actually want to improve the tunnel. This is a modern build in 1944. This bridge might be a little bit ahead of its time, but that's okay. Now let's go ahead and upgrade this. Let's see how far we're going to upgrade this. Probably to about there for now. And now let's grab our next track. And let's see now. Yeah, so we got 186, and then it starts to slow down as it comes out of this tunnel. Totally valid. Okay, and we will back that off to there. Let's try and get rid of that. And I just want to get these to snap together. There we go. All right, so 186 through there. And then this one is just the standard 75 miles an hour through there. Okay. So now let's back this out. And we will back this whole bridge out. And we will reestablish this connection somehow, some way, which we will figure out at a later date. Okay, so now if I grab this, so now that's 186. All right, so now there's a, yep, that is fair. So let's get rid of this road. We will redo this road after we, and I'm guessing that that's where that road is going to go. Just a total guess. So let's grab this now. Let's do that. Let's see how we're doing for speed. Just fine. How tight can I get this? Yeah, tighter than I need it to be. Okay, so we're going to get a bridge going through there. How does this slope look? Looks just fine, and it looks like we are on our way to going up that hill. Okay, so we'll get a bridge in here. And we'll go ahead and build that. And now I'm going to back out a section of this, connect that up, and make it fill. Grab this, pull it through here. And now we can reconnect this road. So let's grab the country road. We're going to duck it down into this little gully here. And then pull it kind of up this slope that we already made for it. And then we'll connect that back up. And now we'll just kind of try and make the terrain look a little bit gentler. And I'm just going to kind of just pull this up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now let's clean up where this old rail line used to be. So if we come in here, we will go ahead and clean that up. And I'll just clean up through here as well, just because we don't really know where that's going to go. Okay, nice. Now let's reconnect the Askern route while we're at it. And I think it would make sense that they would share a bridge here. So let's go ahead and do that. However, after that, let's try and make that connection. How steep is that going to be? Not terrible. So let's do that. And then let's see, can I... Yes, I can get a nice section here. Make that fill. And we're going to have to clean up this line. Let's just do that really quickly before we forget about it. Let's drop this down just a little bit. And then if we just grab this stone. There we go. Okay, so the Askern line is cleaned up, except for this little area here. I'll clean that up when I come back and decorate this whole thing. And now we have the high-speed rail heading up to Tenterden. And what I kind of want to do, just see what this would do if I just pulled it all the way up here. And it's going to do wild things. I don't really know how I feel. I'm okay with a lot of this bridge. It's not ideal, but I think it's fine. It's more this extremely long bridge that I'm a little bit more concerned about. So why don't we try and fix some of this? That'll be fill. That looks okay. This will be fill. Suspension bridge. I love it. This will be steel girder, like a girder bridge. Or will it be this kind of bridge? I kind of like the green girder bridge. That's fill, that's fill. And then this is also going to be fill through here. And then we're going to shorten this bridge up. And then let's work on our tunnel. We'll go with that more modern tunnel. And that is 186. Oh, this bridge actually is limited to 112. But the girder bridges are not. All right, so I guess we're going double girder bridge. That is good to know. I did not realize that those bridges were limited, which means this one is also limited to 112. Interesting. All right. I'm kind of thinking silver. Let's go with silver. And let's make that connection there. Let's grab the other track. Let's just see. Yeah, that's sharing. And now we can pull this onto here. And connect that up. Okay. Now, I do need to change this because if we look at the speed, this is probably limited to 112. Yep, 112. All right, which means this has to go. And this needs to be some kind of a girder bridge. We'll go with blue. Just change it up just a little bit. We have a couple pillars there. That is okay. All right. So now let's try and make some of this work. So let's see. I could probably do fill up to there. It's pretty aggressive, but I think that's okay. That's already fill. I kind of like that just coming off of the cliff right there, but I think we could probably make a little bit more of this fill. So let's get fill in there and fill in there. Okay. And now let's try and come through and just clean up. Let's bring this way down. We'll just kind of pull that out to make it look like it's a little bit more a natural fill that they just kind of cleaned up. And we'll do the same kind of through here. I think this one is okay. Yeah, but this one needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. Just trying to lift up. Just trying to make it not quite as sharp. I think that looks better. I think this looks better than this. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see once it's decorated. Because you can kind of still tell that it's filled. It just looks like it's a little bit more natural. Or a little bit more feathered. I don't know what the right word is. Is feathered the right word? I do not know. Alright, so let's go with auto signal. We will go with 250 meters. So that's going to bring us all the way down to there. And now we'll send that back. And then I'm actually going to move these one way. Not auto-signaled. Let's just kind of line these ones up because they're on the curve. Yeah, and then these ones look good. They're running all the way back. All right, so which of our lines are still messed up? Okay, so Tenterden food is still messed up. So let's back both of those out. Let's grab a nice track here. Bring that over to like 45 on the merge. Make that a double switch. And do we want a signal there? A one-way signal there? Let's put a non-one-way signal there so it can come all the way back down. And then let's move this signal here. Shift those signals around just a little bit. I know that that's short, but I think it's okay. Okay, cool. So now this is hooked up. Let's check our lines here. Okay, so that could not connect all stations. Why is that? Why could you not connect all stations? Let's go into the lines here. So let's go to Skelton to Asker, and this is going to be on platform 3. So that one should be fixed. Yes. Train 17, no path. Okay. Skelton to Ferryhill. Let's get rid of this. So it's going to go Ferryhill to Tenterden to Skelton. Platform 2. And then it can't get back up to Lower Tenterden. Okay, there we go. So now that's working, and that is using the high-speed rail the whole way, which is good. It's going to come right into here. And now this one could not connect all stations. Skelton to Carshalton to Hythe to Carshalton and back to Skelton. I wonder why. I'm a little confused, actually. Ah, this is why. So let's give this a non-one-way signal right there. Did I mess that up here as well? I don't think I did, because I think this is a bi-directional... Yeah. So what I can do, though, is I can put one-way signals in there. Alright, so now we can let this run. Alright, and this train is stuck. Huh. Alright. Let's sell it. Yeah, that's okay. Let's sell it. And now let's duplicate this train. Okay, and now where is the other train? So that one's down there. It's heading to Ferryhill. I am going to make both of these trains. Let's put them on high maintenance. And let's make them a little bit longer as well. And then this one just ran all the way through. We're going to need to space these out. They're going to get way too clustered. Which is not what we want. We want them to be nice and spaced out. Because now there's nothing that's going to interfere with them, so we really need to consciously space them out. But anyway, I think that this is going to work really well. All of our lines are working the way that we want them to. And yeah. I'm really excited for how this is going to function. Okay, and we have so much money that I'm going to do something ridiculous because this one is already almost in the middle. I'm going to come onto this line and duplicate this train. So that now at least they are kind of in the middle with one another. This one will head down to Ferryhill, and then this one will head to Skelton. And you can kind of see here what's going to happen. This one's going to jump over 2 tracks onto the high-speed line. And then it's going to be unimpeded all the way down to Skelton, which is going to be great. In the next episode, because I don't think we have quite enough time to do it now, we are going to do the same thing here between Ferryhill and Tenterden, which is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have to contend with this station here. I don't really know how we're going to deal with it. We might jump all the way to the outside and run through. We might just try and bypass it altogether. I genuinely don't know. All I do know is that I want to share the same tunnel. And virtually once we hit this tunnel, we're pretty much going to hug this line all the way in. That is the plan anyway. So how we're going to bypass this, I do not know. We might just loop around it. I don't know. It's going to be a trick, and I might have to move this road. But that's fine. Roads will always move for rail. No question. Alright, so now our train made it up to 75. It's just going to sit there the whole way. And you can see here, this is a perfect example of an instance where this train would get stuck behind this oil train. But it's not going to. It's just going to fly right by. And this is going to become even more pronounced once we get the higher speed trains in here. Yeah. I'm really excited. Because now that also simplifies our cargo a lot more. Because the passenger rail is not going to be interfering with it like it was in previous episodes, or virtually for the entire playthrough up to this point. So that is going to be really good. And these are now by far our biggest and fastest trains. Alright guys, we are just about at 50 minutes. I think that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. A little bit of a shorter one today. I just don't think we have quite enough time to start another major project. And without leaving it unfinished, which, I'm just not a big fan of leaving things unfinished unless they are just so blatantly a multi-episode project, which I guess you could kind of count this as a multi-episode project. Because this is the same passenger rail line running back and forth. So anyway, if you guys made it this far and you enjoyed the episode, definitely consider subscribing. Holy cow. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like and a comment. The like and a comment, definitely helps with the video engagement. Plus, it's just motivating to see. And I think we could actually get some new trams on here. I feel like I always do this. Get some new trams. Just like that. And these trams should probably be high maintenance. Keep them looking at least moderately good. Makes them a little bit more expensive to run, but I think it'll work a lot better. Anyway, if you guys made it this far, again, subscribe, like, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.